I can. The whole recording just...
This episode's about universal depression.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. We're going to sing you a song about universal depression.
Well, welcome back to the No Streetlights podcast.
Cheers. Welcome
Solange.
back. I am completely made of errands.
I am made almost entirely of Tim. We're two veterans and two friends here to talk about mental health, wellness, the human experience.
We have lived some pretty interesting lives ourselves. Being veterans, I spent a lot of time in investigations and law enforcement security. Aaron did a very similar job, found himself doing a lot of firearms instructing. With that being said, today I wanted to talk about something that hurts. The clacker. Wait. Don't. Hold on. Roll for initiative, scene, don't make one, take on me. Director, grand architect, camera, iPhones, date, today, day, interior, and sync.
Yeah. They could read it. Well, except for Matt. Le quoi?
Le quoi?
Solange.
Cheers.
Wait, you tapped the first one and didn't tap the second one. What are we...
Keep them on their toes, brother.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so lately I've been thinking a lot about myself. I feel like we're entering an interesting area in our like collective consciousness. I feel like everybody's fucking depressed, dude. And I feel like a lot of it is, the world state we're currently in. You know, we're getting a lot of stimulus shouted at us, but specifically stuff like death, war, wiping out civilizations, returning them to the Stone Age. Like, these are conversations that we're legitimately hearing and being told almost like every hour. Like, you can't get on social media without seeing it. And that's like the exterior, like the outside sources of depression. But I'm really feeling a lot of internal struggle as well. And I feel like that's something that maybe a lot of people are going through right now. We're kind of entering a transitional period from winter into spring. And typically, we go from the dark emotions or the, more depression to the time to bloom and flourish, shout out Allie. But yeah, man, how do you deal with something like that? Like this universal depression, it feels so crushing.
Well, depression is something we've been dealing with for some time. But I think it's interesting that you brought up this idea of like regression preparing for acceleration in change, because there is kind of a last gasp of this generation trying to impose its will before we do a big turnover. And a lot of us are pre-tired. And that's this universal depression you speak of. Another way to think of it is just the generational exhaustion because of how many crises we've been through, how they're killing us with inflation. We can't afford to live anymore, blah, 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 blah. And it's time for change. It's been time for change for some time. We're tired.
I remember when I first moved back here 6-ish months ago, and I was walking around town with my eyes so wide and being like, wow, look how beautiful this area is, and look at how beautiful, and just like taking in and really absorbing the location. And I thought to myself, I'm not doing that lately. I go outside and I'm like, I fucking hate this place.
The childlike wonder is gone.
Yeah, and I hate that. It reminds me of when I went to my first command, and all the older, saltier sailors were like, dude, you have like a sparkle in your eye. Don't ever lose that shit. And like I'd been an adult for a little while at that point. So, I was like, nothing's going to take that sparkle away at this point. Like, if you guys haven't killed it, nothing's going to kill it. But I feel like my sparkle is dying lately.
Yeah, I agree. I feel sparkleless. But I am optimistic and still stoked because we're still putting in the work.
Yeah.
Objectively, we're still getting it done. We're showing up to the Quan. We're training our heart out. We're helping as much as we can. We're recording this. So hopefully we can infect people with that left foot, right foot mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And as a chronic survivor, that's all it is. That's the way to beat depression. It's the only way to beat depression. It's time tested and proven. It's just keep fucking going.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I recently spoke to a new therapist because there was some, we were going to try marriage counseling, but then she let me know that we were just getting a divorce. So I went to the marriage counseling thing alone to help process like that. Told her what I was going through and stuff. She asked me about my faith and if, I thought that it were morally objectionable to take one's own life and if I knew how people around me would feel. And I was like, yes, I have moral, ethical, religious objections to taking one's own life. And she was like, all right, good. And I guess that's a huge deal. And I'm surprised some people don't have that, haven't experienced the loss of someone in that fashion. So they don't know how it's just passing off the pain to someone else. Mm-hmm. It's a selfish act where we are so overwhelmed by our own pain that we buy out our contract, but that pain has to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So it just goes to the people around the person and loses the fight, which no guilt, no blame here.
No shame. Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's giving up. Mm-hmm. And that's why I want to work with WTF Riley and just make a film about like
depression,
being unstoppable, about
the happy Sisyphus.
Yeah, no, I want to make a horror film where I am the horrible thing and I just won't quit. Like that's the horror. It's just I won't fucking quit. I think that'd be a phenomenal film. Like
instead of like It Follows, it's Aaron Follows.
Fucking, yeah, but
Ashian.
Yeah, because Hyland said that paranormal stuff doesn't scare him very much. It's scarier when it's just a person.
Yeah, people are way scarier than ghosts.
And the reason people find me terrifying is because I can do that single-minded determination. Just, I don't care. I'll crash the car to win the race.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be fun. And more people will push in the direction they need to go if they adopt some of that. Some of that, I'm just here to make my own way mentality.
I have really been trying to reiterate and beat into my own mind the idea of like work harder or work smarter. I don't do either of those. I don't work harder and I don't work smarter. We've said it a couple of times on this show. I just try to work.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds kind of silly because people are like, well, you want to work smarter, not work harder, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, man, the best thing you can do is just, like you said, left foot, right foot. And going back to this concept of like this universal depression I'm feeling, I mentioned it before we started recording, but it feels kind of like humanity and consciousness as a whole is like grieving something that we aren't aware of what we're grieving yet.
We just exited the year of the snake, which is a shedding of skin, and we entered the year of the horse, which is a year of work. I'm glad that you brought up the whole just put in reps because of that old story of a pottery professor who had two classes. One, she said, you're going to turn in one project and it needs to be perfect. And the other class, she said, you need to turn in as many pieces as you possibly can. That's what you're graded on. And the people who turned in the more perfect stuff were the people who turned in quantity over quality. So you're talking about just put in the reps.
Practice makes perfect.
But there are also levels to it. At white gi, just practice is fine. But once you get a black gi, you have to start perfecting your practice. Like for pakwa. One of the rules for pakwa is you can't just practice it just to practice it. Each time you have to be trying to learn and get better and do better.
Yeah.
We do need to be perfecting our practice, but putting in the reps is more important than putting in the perfect rep.
So let me ask this then, because I think this is where I kind of want to expand and try and figure out if there's a way we can possibly help everybody remove this layer of suffering. But at the Quan, right, when I go and do Kung Fu and you tell me to put in the reps or, kick 100 times and then kick 100 more, I feel like I can do that. I'm at the Quan. I'm at I'm praying to the Iron Church, as we have joked about and said millions of times. But that's at the Quan. I come home and I sit down on my couch and I doom scroll or whatever. And I know that that's probably what the problem is. Maybe I shouldn't be doom scrolling, but this is the society we live in. I'm doing exactly what everybody else is doing who's watching this show. And I just almost immediately, 100 kicks is too much now. Because now I also have to look at all this other stuff and I'm seeing all this other work that I have to put in. How do you keep the throw 1,000 kicks to throw 1,000 more? The chop wood, carry water mentality before enlightenment, after enlightenment, all those things. Like, how do you keep that? How do you find the motivation and the strength to keep putting that foot in front of the other? Because sometimes, man, the path looks like it's done.
Something I said recently, and I saw it in a clip, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Aaron, tell him."
Tell him, Aaron.
I said, it's so easy to be abnormal, to be spectacular, to be a standout. It takes 100 strikes, 100 kicks, 100 reps of your form before you've done it 99 more times than most people. Mm-hmm. And that's realizing that all we have is time. And think about how long does it actually take to throw 100 kicks as my main training. If that's the training I'm doing, I do 10 front kicks with my left leg, 10 front kicks with my right leg, 10 side kicks with my left leg, 10 side kicks with my right leg. And then I repeat that 10 times. Kicking as best as I can. That does not take me an hour. It takes me probably 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I can choose to sign up for 40 minutes of suffering a couple times a week to have kicks that put other people to shame. As long as you're showing up a few times a week and consciously putting in 100 reps, you're going to master your craft. Mm-hmm. You're going to get better. You're going to start perfecting your practice. It's going to get better. It's going to get more efficient. It's going to get faster. It's going to get more enjoyable. And that's what brings people back, is making your practice enjoyable while still seeking improvement.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret, which involves me getting up here. I'm not sure if this is actually, this is mine, size 4.
Where's mine?
I don't know. They handed me the brand new one. They didn't give me yours.
Oh, it's behind the...
Okay.
I'll give it to you on whatever.
Sick. Anyway, I recently advanced in belt color to yellow.
I recently advanced too.
Yeah. You're now 2nd degree black, but most importantly, you're also Sifu, which means Aaron is
officially a teacher.
Officially a Kung Fu teacher. But anyway, so I recently got my yellow belt, and I'm incredibly proud that I made that and was able to achieve that. I mean, that was 6 months of hard work to rank up one belt. And I'm sure a lot of other people who do Kung Fu would be like, oh, I'm a green belt or a blue belt or black or whatever, and be super proud of that. I'm really proud of my yellow belt. I'm really proud of where I'm at. But I'm going to let you in on a secret. Mm-hmm. I hate putting it on when I go to the Kung Fu now. I kind of miss being a white belt in Kung Fu. And I know I've reached a point where I'm no longer going to put that white belt on when I walk through there for learning. I am not there to learn as a white belt. I'm there to learn as a yellow belt. But in a way, I kind of grieve the fact that I'm no longer a beginner.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still new, but I'm not a beginner. And I wonder if that has taken away some of the pleasure.
Well, I can alleviate that for you now. You're not actually considered a serious beginner until you're a black belt. So you're not a beginner yet.
That's good.
And I got my black belt in September of 2009. Mm-hmm. And I got my 2nd degree in March of 2026. So whatever your timeline is...
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I want to make it clear, too, that this Kung Fu metaphor really isn't just about Kung Fu, but it's about everything, you know?
Yeah.
I started college back in January, and now I'm a couple months into it. When I first started, I was so excited. I'm sitting there reading every little bit of material, hungry for it.
Now you're a yellow belt.
I'm a yellow belt, and I'm kind of like, meh. I'm going to read most of it, probably not all of it.
Yeah.
And then it reminds me of like back in high school, at a certain point, I just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Like the momentum was done.
You're like, oh, I get it.
I get it. Why are you still talking at me at this point?
Yeah.
Like, just let me graduate and go do my thing. And I hate that mentality. I don't know how to break myself away from that and remember that even though I am progressing forward, I can still have the beginner mindset and open my eyes a little bit and have that childlike wonder and bring that spark back, or that sparkle. And I think that's just one way to combat this depression I'm feeling, finding that sparkle and childlike wonder and happiness again and embracing those things. But for some reason, I just feel like I'm looking at a insurmountable wall filled of Kung Fu tests and college and music and money and podcast and video editing and social media. And I'm just like, analysis paralysis.
Mm-hmm. The reason that I was upset to advance from first to second was I could no longer say that I was the least of the black belts, you know, that I'm, I was no longer a white belt, black belt.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make my yellow belt, my black and yellow belt, feel bad for anyone with a black and white belt. But one thing that we learn as we advance as well is the rank doesn't really matter. So I saw me being a first degree black belt as saying like I am the most humble of serious beginners. But then the teacher wanted to teach me new systems and wanted me to be able to teach all of the stuff that he had given me in good faith, that I would pass it on.
In good faith, yeah.
You know, we have to take the next step. We have to keep going for ourselves and for those around us. Mm-hmm. Ikigai. You got to find your reason. You can say I'm a brand new yellow belt. I have to earn my blue belt next so I can be a brand new blue belt. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to earn a green belt, so I'm a brand new green belt. And I'm going to learn a brown belt. And then I get my black belt and I'm a real fucking beginner finally.
That sounds so fucking exhausting though. And I get it, right? We're talking about the idea of left foot, right foot. And sometimes that involves doing the thing when you're tired. And God, dude, I have been saying that for probably a couple months now of like, my favorite quote that I've heard from Tyler, the Creator, is like, there's no difference between you and your favorite music artist. They just did the damn thing every day until they made it. And I love that, right? Because in a way it does feel like that, you know, just keep doing this podcast, keep doing what we're doing, and we're going to fucking do it. And I know we keep bringing it back to Kung Fu because that's the easiest metaphor.
Well, you're talking about samsara.
Yeah.
You're really talking about samsara.
Going into the cycle. But let me finish this thought real quick and I'll pass the buck back over to you. But finding a way to have, I don't even know if motivation is the right word, because motivation implies that you have this
purpose, really,
thing inside of you. But it's like, I'm thinking of, I should go write a song right now. It doesn't have to be great, doesn't have to be perfect, but I should go write a song, right? How? Welcome to Tim's therapy session. No Streetlights podcast is mostly just our therapy.
Well, but how do you eat an elephant?
However the fuck you can, man.
However you can. If it means starting with noodling, if it means starting with lyrics, if it means starting with a bass line, if it means starting with a BPM.
Drums.
Do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
I say you're talking about samsara because we are kind of feeling this whole, we've been here before. We've done this before. It's the same cycle. It's again and again.
This endless liminal space that is depression.
And whenever a monk in Thailand recently attained arahantship.
What's that?
Enlightenment.
Okay.
Whenever he saw how it all works. He said he saw his previous lives and his dead bodies, if laid on the ground, would cover all of Thailand. And that's just his previous lives in the human realm, not even to include the other realms. And as an ancient, free and accepted Master Mason, I understand that I've been here before. I've done it before. It's just going to be another day. It's going to be another day. It's going to be another day. So Ikigai, you have to find your own purpose. You have to find your own intrinsic drive. You have to find your Gina Linetti fire spirit. That you know the jar is not empty.
Here's the stuff you left in my place. Your Sounds of Ibiza sleep CD, 7 phone chargers, and an empty jar labeled Fire Spirit.
No, it's not empty.
And it's different for everyone. Mm-hmm. Some people, it's their family. Some people, it's their spouse. Some people, it's proving the haters wrong. Some people, it's, the betterment of the self. And as we get tired of samsara, we look for a way out. And Riley Wood showed us that once you get out of one place, you're in another place. You get out of that place, you're in another place.
When you climb the wall, you get to see the other walls.
So there are all the jhanas, all the meditations, all the suttas, all the practices that can get you out of this cycle of conditioned responses and stimulus and want and need and pain and suffering.
This really goes back to the original tagline for No Streetlights of shine your light or be your own light. I talk about these things because it's so easy to talk about them. It's so hard to implement them. But when we talked about being your own light, it was because you and I agreed that everybody has an inherent light in them. Mm-hmm. Regardless of how much it's been dampened or how bright it is, everybody has that light. And the idea when we sat down to start recording this was to help people understand that they can shine their own light. And in the past couple of months, I've realized I've dimmed my light a lot. I've become incredibly more reserved than I have been. I explained it to my wife the other day I feel like I've been shrinking, which is something that feels weird and wrong to me. I am at a transitional point in my life, going from military to civilian, college student, figuring out all these things.
And I told you there'd be a fulcrum at 6 months.
Talking about this massive wall in front of me with all these things. And now I'm trying to figure out how I can be my own light again. Because before I had structure that told me how to be my own light. And now I kind of have to figure that out all over again in a different set of circumstances, but with the skills that I have now. Yeah. And it just feels crazy, man. I feel like internally that's another thing that I'm grieving. Another layer to the suffering is, in a way, talking about a lack of purpose or maybe a lack of motivation or a lack of who is Tim Brunacardi now? It was different when it was active military Master at Arms, First Class Petty Officer Timothy Brunacardi. And yeah, man, I don't know. I think that's a lot of my internal suffering is my light being so dim now. I have to remember how to shine it.
And things are cyclical. So it will wax and wane. Mm-hmm. We just have to keep breathing.
Yeah.
If we keep breathing, the fire will keep burning. And I like that we are talking about how we all have this common soul, this common spark of consciousness within us. That inherently makes us worthy of this life. I'm glad that we are preaching about that we all have a common soul. We all have a common connection. An old thing that I've been thinking about was you can be about maybe 3 things. Mm-hmm. I am also going through a period of grief, having lost an important relationship.
Yes.
And I understand the monks who lost someone or had some big thing happen and they said, I will grieve no more. Because, bro, I understand why you hate, quote unquote, death, because it is so painful. Grief is such an arduous process.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why that would be upsetting. But we've done this before. We'll do it again. We'll keep going. So why not persist as a happy Sisyphus?
And I think a lot of that comes down to like my need, and I think the general need for everybody. Everybody wants real answers, We talk about these ideas and we provide metaphors in the sense of like talking about our Kung Fu experience or talking about Buddhism or talking about various different methodologies of coping and handling life. And I know there's a group of people out there who's like, yeah, but how do you know? Like talking about the monk who achieved enlightenment. It's like, well, first of all, how do you know he achieved enlightenment? Because he said so? Okay, cool. He talked about his past lives. Okay, cool. All of that could be made up. I'm talking about my past lives. You know how many bodies I've had? I've covered the entire world 5 times over. Do you know how true that is? I don't know. And I think a lot of people, they hear things and they're immediately skeptical about it. They don't want to find the way it actually could be integrated in their life. And a lot of things we talk about are metaphorical or allegorical or whatever. We're not actually saying, well, to a certain degree, but we're not actually saying like, embrace your past lives or, embrace the wheel of samsara. If you're not into Buddhism and you don't believe that stuff, that's fine. But you can take the lessons or the way that those are supposed to help you. It's like how people talk about Christianity as a strong moral compass, even if you aren't a practicing Christian.
Yeah, that's the thing that
I want to be very careful about using that example real quick, though, because, that it can go sideways very fast.
Yeah.
Parsing through wisdom and finding out how it can and apply to you is an art of itself. And talking about how people can be about 3 things, I think we can secretly all be about a 4th thing. And I think that 4th thing is personal philosophy, not worldwide philosophy, not sitting there and studying Aristotle or Tolstoy or whatever. Understanding how philosophy impacts you in your day-to-day and kind of playing through that. You don't have to sit there and read, Kantian ethics from, cover to cover, but understand how those things work, find the parts that apply to you, and maybe integrate them a little bit in your life. And that could be a great way to help you shine your light or be your own light.
Yeah, finding a framework.
Yeah, definitely.
Structure is important.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, even as a retired guy at 30, I have a structure, I have a system, I have a schedule. We do these on these days. Because that is incredibly important to maintain, to maintain course, to maintain purpose, to maintain velocity or acceleration, which are 2 very different things.
I don't want this episode to be like, commiserating on sadness or anything like that. And it really doesn't feel that way to me so far. One thing I'm really trying to think about and figure out is how to find joy in the little things again. Because that's something that we talked about a little bit, walking around with the wide eyes, bushy tail, and all that fun stuff. Everything's so beautiful. How do you find that again? If you don't have it, how can you get it? We talk about negativity as a cancer that spreads and somebody mentions one thing negative and it just keeps going. But joy shared is twice joy.
Yeah. Purposeful pursuit is what I'm going with here. Several years ago, when Mother was having a hard time, I gave her a gratitude rock and I told her, put a rock in your pocket. Every time you touch the rock, you think of something to be grateful for. And it rewires your brain to look for gratitude, to look for good. And so that is one simple, easy, quick brain hack for people. Put a gratitude rock in your pocket, and every time you touch it, find something that you're grateful for.
So grateful I have these carpets to help with dampening.
Yeah. And you can have a purpose stone in your pocket. every time you touch it, be like, oh, what is my purpose? Is it passing butter? You know, is it understanding this experience more fully? Is it,
what is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my God.
it can be whatever it needs to be. The points don't matter. It's all made up.
Yeah.
Perfecting your practice through purposeful pursuit is what I'm picking.
Perfecting practice through purposeful pursuit.
Pakwa.
The alliteration
Pee-pee,
is insane.
poo-poo.
Pee-pee, poo-poo, pakwa. Have you ever heard of a internet series called The Amazing Digital Circus? There's currently 8 episodes. I think they're going to release the 9th one in a couple of months. It's going to be in theaters. Really awesome show for anybody who's heard of it. It's got hundreds of millions of views, so I'm sure people have heard of it. But it has a lot of interesting mental health metaphors in it.
And what's it called?
The Amazing Digital Circus. Have you ever heard of a short story called I Have No Mouth, and I Must Scream?
No, that just sounds like a dream I had.
It probably was. But yeah, there's a really interesting short story. The bare bones basic breakdown of it is like this AI that kind of tortures humans.
Yeah, nice use of bees there.
Yeah, thanks. We're just trying to go for all the alliteration, I guess.
Alliteration, assonance, doesn't matter.
Yeah, welcome. So The Amazing Digital Circus has a bunch of like mental health things in it, and like watching the characters explore, and they're about 30-minute episodes, so you could probably spend a good 4 hours watching them. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. And as we were watching through it the other day, I really found myself kind of connecting with one of these characters who their symbolism is that they have the tragedy and comedy mask as their face, and their happy mask breaks every single adventure they do.
Girl, same.
Yeah, right?
Kintsugi.
Yeah, Kintsugi. Oh man, that brings up another. No, let's finish Digital Circus first. But I really connected with this character because something about the way like the sadness is always there. The sadness is never the mask that breaks. It's always the happy mask. But then even with the sad mask on, this character is still capable of smiling and being happy. And I had to wonder, what are the creators trying to tell me with this character, or in what way do I relate to this character? And I really do feel like my happy mask breaks all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just left with this sad mask. And even with that sad mask, I can still find the ability to smile, but I've labeled that mask sad and I'm wearing it.
Yeah. This is shades of nothing is good nor bad, only thinking makes it so. Yeah. Is there a question there or?
Well, no. So yes, my question kind of was like, why do I have this overwhelming sense of like, I guess, connection to this character? But again, this is all just metaphorical. We're all just creating these ideas. But the cash out, what is the cash out here?
Why does the happy mask break? We're always left with the sad mask.
Do the masks matter?
Do the labels matter? Is what I would think.
Yeah.
Is why would you label that the sad mask?
Why would you label that the happy mask? And I get it. It's supposed to be direct representation, but I don't wear a mask and my face doesn't actually physically break every day, so.
Yeah. I think that might be speaking to how we only have a certain resource pool, and you can only try so much before you have to rest. And then you have to rest so you can come back and try again.
Yeah.
Which is an important thing to realize. And that could be what this episode's about, is understanding that once you've cached your entire store of care, you got to rest to restore that jank. And rest looks different for different people. That's
true. That is true. I have found a lot of pleasure in like writing music lately. Not that would call myself good at it, but I'm having fun with it. And maybe that's where some of my spark lays right now. I have my guitar in the camera shot. I don't know if it's going to make it in the final edit or not.
Nazgul.
With the Nazgul.
People are going to think I know anything about music now, and I don't.
We have that photo of you playing guitar that still exists.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be really fucking funny if
It's
we
going to
could
be Aaron lore that I'm like secretly an amazing
really
musician.
fucking good. You're actually Buckethead.
Yeah.
But yeah, every day I find myself multiple times a day, probably almost every couple of hours, I'll pick up the guitar and I'll noodle around on it for a little bit. And I don't know if I'm really doing anything. I feel like I'm practicing speed. I feel like I'm practicing precision, but I call it noodling. And I do find a sense of like peace in that. And I find that my guitar in a way acts like the kintsugi for me. It's kind of like the gold that's
Fills in the cracks.
Yeah, it's fixing these fractures. It's filling in like the hole that I have in my life currently.
And you're talking a lot here about the law of attraction. This is something that is in your orbit and keeps getting picked up and gets closer in your orbit until it's on your planet and it's in your house.
It's in my lap.
Yeah, very nearly. So I'm glad that you are relaxing into this law of attraction and allowing yourself to go through these seasons, allowing yourself to go to whatever well is going to be filling the cracks.
Whatever well has water will cook rice.
And there are maladaptive wells, there are poison wells, but
Yeah.
any harbor in a storm, they say.
Yeah. Well, not alcohol though. That one can
Yeah.
stay over there.
Yeah, there are, like I said, there are maladaptive coping mechanisms,
Poisoned wells.
problematic habituations.
There are two levels of sadness I think we've talked about in this episode. We've talked about a like personal deep sadness, and we've talked about like this universal sadness. That's
Subjective and objective sadness.
I guess, yeah.
Sure.
I feel like we've really touched on the idea of like how to find a way to shine your own light and be your own light. Finding your ikigai, finding your kitsugi, finding your 8-string guitar with a Nazgul bridge pickup installed recently. Whatever. Adrienne Bender, her episode about grief.
Finding light and
Purpose
persisting.
again.
Yeah, I think that's a great resource for people who are experiencing this crushing weight of grief, which you and I have had localized run-ins in this current timeline with big grief. Maybe there should be an NSLP episode about that.
Maybe there's a couple already.
Adrienne, thank you.
Yeah. And we also did an episode on depression, generational trauma for the NSL Core episodes that we had launched a couple of episodes back. Yeah, there's a lot of resources here. And it is really funny to say this, but like as the person who was part of the recording and editing those, sometimes I forget the advice we've been given too. You know, that was one huge thing about sitting down with a new guest every week was like, it was kind of a refresher of like, hey, don't forget that there's a way for you to shine your own light. The guests would remind us of how they shined theirs, which would help us shine ours, and then everybody else would hopefully shine some. And I don't think we are losing much by being you and I in these episodes, and we will still bring in guests when we can.
Sorry we lost your initial recording, Matt. We'll bring you back ASAP.
I can't wait to bring him back. Going back and going to the conversations we've already had and the advice we've already heard and things like that, it is good to hear those again. Take those lessons back on.
And getting the reps in and revisiting the lessons is, again, so imperative on the road to mastery. I mean, I learned in September of 2011, I was eligible for second degree and had all my material. But when I came back after becoming a firearms instructor and a military police trainer, and I came back with wiser eyes. So as I went through the material again, it was different. Yes, it's the same lesson again and again and again, but we're getting better. Each time it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a white belt, but it's a new belt. For me, it's not a new belt. It's a new rank. It's a new system. It's a new, whatever needs to be new is new. At second degree, I'm learning Singy primarily, and I'm starting off with Monkey. As somebody who has 20 years of experience, the very first thing was you have to be approaching this as though it's new. And I was like, oh, that's so hard. Yeah. But if you practice that every day, you're going to get better. Like I say, the first belt I put on in the morning is my white belt. Mm-hmm. So keep putting on your white belt.
I have a yellow belt, but I still have my white belt.
And I think of myself as a white belt. That's how I've gotten around the whole promotion sadness or whatever is. Mm-hmm. I'm still a white belt.
Yeah. Remember to return to the basics and the fundamentals.
That's why I practice front kicks, side kicks, jabs, crosses.
Even though you can do backflips.
About it. Yeah.
Wow.
Double back smashes, butterfly kicks. Yeah.
They hurt, but you can do them.
Yeah.
If needed. Oh, so don't work smarter. Don't work harder. Just work. Put your...
First. Then get smarter or harder.
Yeah. Put your left foot or your right foot in front of the next. Keep pushing through and sharing some joy.
Know your resources. Trust your people. If you need help now, you can call 911 or you could text or call 988. If you want protracted support, you go to betterhelp.com/NSLP. It gets you 10% off your first month. Helps the channel out quite a bit. I can't think of a lot better than that.
I can. Mostly just because we have our patrons who we do want to shout out.
Right.
At our top tier, we have Eric Spears and
Atticus Thatcher.
Amazing musician.
And then at the $10 tier, our angel tier, we have Highland Markle
and Ketria Hausner. You guys
Cheers.
are amazing. Thank you so much.
There was something I wanted to add to the outro. A visual description for any of our visually impaired viewers. I am average height, average build white guy. I got the yin yang haircut, aka some scruff and nothing on top.
Yes.
I got that friar cut. I got some hair around back and sides, but that's it. I got one sleeve and then some other tattoos. And I wear glasses.
And you're wearing a really cool crimson Shaolin shirt.
From our spring tournament. Mm-hmm. It was super fun.
If we have some at the beginning of next month, I will buy one. And I am also a pretty average looking white guy. I wear glasses that are aviator shaped. I do have hair. Mine is done and parted in the middle a little bit. It looks probably a little bit more fancy than it has any right.
Mostly black, little salt and pepper.
I have one sleeve on my left arm tattoos, and I have a half sleeve-ish on my right arm, and I did it backwards.
Bottom half first.
Bottom half first. And I'm wearing a Scooby-Doo shirt because I really needed something to bring back that childlike energy for me today.
Yo.
That being said, be good to yourselves and each other.
We love you, and you're worthy of that love. Peace.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Yep. Just getting some background Walla Walla for the end of the episode now. Yeah, just get us standing up and shit.
I gotta pee. Oh, my mic.
Shit's fucking sad out here.